realize that the only person that can get this much energy out of me is royalty. So does that mean I technically still love her? I don't know, but I don't.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and listen, this is the confession nobody saw coming. After months of messy drama back and forth, family feeds, custody battles, and shocking accusations, CJ So Cool just made a surprising turn. This time, it's not about the rings, it's not about the fake fight scenist, it's not about Nation calling him a lurk. No, this CJ is talking about something way deeper. He wants royalty back. The same royalty that CJ has dragged online, accused of taking the rings, accused of neglecting the kids, the same woman who's been flying private jets, soft launching a new man and seemingly moving on. That's the woman CJ is now admitting publicly that he wants back in his life. And the way CJ said it, it wasn't angry, it wasn't messy. In his own words, CJ said, "I just want my family back, all of it, the old version before all this drama happened." You could hear it in his voice, a man realizing that all the flexing, all the streaming, all the new relationships, none of it filled that empty space. Because behind all the content, CJ has been alone, no more royalty by his side, no more full house, no more big happy family moments. And now it's starting to sink in. He even admitting, "It's not the same without her, all these new people around me. It's fake love, but royalty, she was real." And for fans who've been following from day one, it's crazy to watch because we've seen CJ at his peak. The mansion, the cars, the kids, the relationship goals. And we've seen him at his lowest, alone in the mansion, fighting online, crying on live, desperate for attention. And now it's like everything's come full circle. But of course, fans are divided. Some people are saying, this is growth CJ finally realizing what really matters. His family. Maybe it's not too late, maybe they can fix it. How about others? They're saying, nope, CJ only misses royalty because he lost control. Where was this energy when he was disrespecting her and embarrassing her? And let's be real, royalty hasn't responded. No Instagram posts, no story, no shady TikToks, nothing. Because while CJ is confessing his feelings, royalty is still living life, traveling, bonding with her kids, possibly building something new. So now the big question is this just CJ having regrets because he sees royalty doing better without him? Or is this a genuine man finally realizing his mistakes, wanting his family back for real? But just when you thought CJ was done confessing, he went even deeper. CJ said the reason he's been so loud, so frustrated, and at times even disrespectful online, it wasn't because he hated royalty. No, it was because he's still in love with her. In his own words, CJ said, "You all think I'm bashing her. I'm not. I'm just hurt. That's the love of my life. That's the woman I gave everything to. I don't hate her. I just miss her. That's why I've been yelling." Let that sink in. All the rants, all the petty jabs, all the shady, it wasn't about beef. It wasn't about getting back at her. It was just a man drowning in regret, trying to scream loud enough for her to hear his pain. He even admitted, "I know I didn't handle things right. I know I was childish sometimes. But the truth is, I still love her. I want my family back. I want my home back." That's not something we're used to hearing from CJ So Cool. Usually it's ego. Usually it's flex. But this time it's vulnerability. It's real. And you can see it. CJ is starting to look tired. Not physically, emotionally. He's tired of playing tough, tired of pretending like he's happy, tired of acting like royalty didn't mean everything to him. Because deep down, he's still that same man who built a life with her, who raised those kids, who thought they were going to grow old together. And now watching her move on, watching his kids drift, and watching the world call him bitter gets breaking him slowly. And the fans, they're paying attention. Some are saying, this is the most real CJ has ever been. He finally said what we all knew. He never stopped loving her, but others are warning it's too late now. You can't drag someone for months and then say it was love all along. And honestly, that's the tension in this whole situation. Because yes, he loves her, but is that enough to undo the damage? So now the real question is, do you think royalty will ever respond to this version of CJ, the one that's finally honest? Not the YouTuber, not the showman, but the man who just wants his family back. Or is she...
I had to leave royalty alone. I did, I swear. I even gave her a chance to pay me 10 bands to stop mentioning them. But she failed to come through. So you know what I did? I jumped back on Snapchat and I flamed her ass. Now make sure y'all go ahead and follow me too. I realized that the only person that can get this much energy out of me is royalty. So does that mean I technically still love her?
Already too far gone, too focused on her new life, too tired to reopen that chapter. But here's where it really gets interesting. A lot of people are now saying, maybe it's not really about love. Maybe it's not even about the kids. Maybe it's just the reality finally sinking in for CJ. Because think about it, where was all this emotion months ago? When royalty was quiet, going through the breakup, holding everything down by herself, CJ was outside. He was going on dates, recording YouTube pranks, and bragging about his freedom, telling everyone he was done, that he was moving on. But the moment royalty got herself a man who actually gets reposted by the kids, who dances with them, who flies them out for trips, that's when CJ suddenly started talking about, "I miss my family. I want my home back. I still love her." And to be honest, it's looking suspicious to a lot of people. Even CJ's own followers are now asking in the comments, are you really heartbroken or just jealous she's happy without you? Is it love or is it a go? Because let's be real, it's one thing to miss someone because you genuinely could reap. It's another thing to miss them because you can't stand seeing them thrive without you. And you know what made it worse? The fact that Nation and Jelia supported Royalty's new man. They smiled with him, reposted him, acted like CJ was no longer the center of their world. And if you've been watching CJ from the start, you know he's always loved being the center of attention, being the man of the house, being the dad goals. Now, that title is slowly slipping away and it's eating him alive. CJ even said it in his own way. I gave them the life, I taught them everything, and now they acting like I don't exist. Sog, here's the real question. Does CJ really miss Royalty, or does he miss being the one in control? Does he love his family, or does he just hate being replaced? And you know what's crazy? Royalty hasn't even flinched. No response, just more private jets, more soft life content, and more positive energy with her kids. Maybe CJ is finally realizing you can have all the money, all the fame, all the views, but when you lose your family, when you lose real love, that's a different kind of pain. So y'all tell Mech, is CJ so cool coming from a place of regret and love? Or is this a case of you never know what you have until it's gone? Let me know in the comments, smash that like button if you've ever seen somebody miss out on something good, and subscribe, because this family drama, it's far from over. Thanks for watching. But just when you think things couldn't get messier, CJ switched gears and started talking about his first daughter, Camari. Now, y'all already know Camari hasn't been as involved in the drama like the rest. She's been more low-key, staying with her mom, but every now and then CJ brings her around. And this time CJ was actually proud. He posted Camari learning how to drive a car, celebrating her big step into growing up. CJ sounded really emotional. He said straight up, I'm raising Camari to be strong, smart, and focused. I want her to be better, even better than Nation. And that's when people's eyes opened wide, because fans were quick to catch that statement. Better than Nation. Why mention Nation when you're celebrating Camari? Some people thought he was throwing slight shade, comparing his daughters publicly, and even pinning them against each other without realizing it. But it didn't even end there. What should have been a proud dad moment for CJ, celebrating his daughter driving, quickly turned into something ugly. The comment section switched focus, and people started mocking Camari not because of her driving, but because of her hair. People in the comments were saying why he got Camari out here without her hair done. All that money CJ has and Camari hair look like this. It was cruel. A moment that should have been filled with positivity turned into judgment and mockery over a young girl's natural appearance. And you can see it even got to see Ajag. He posted later saying, y'all too quick to judge Camari is beautiful the way she is. She's not out here looking for clout. She's focused on her future. But by then, the internet was already running with it. Instead of uplifting Camari, folks were focused on looks, money, and appearances, proving once again how toxic social media can be, even when it comes to kids. And let's be honest, it exposed something deeper. CJ was genuinely trying to show off a father-daughter bonding moment, trying to motivate Camari to stay focused, to do better than the drama, and better than Nation, who's recently been all over the place online. But instead of uplift, it turned into comparison and criticism. So now the conversation is changing. Is CJ wrong for comparing his daughters publicly, even if it wasn't meant to be shade? And why are people so quick to judge a young girl, especially when she's just out here trying to enjoy a life moment like learning to drive? It's like no matter what CJ does right now, whether it's calling out Royalty, posting about the twins, or celebrating Camari, it always spirals into negativity. So now I want to hear from y'all. Do you think it was right for CJ to say Camari should be better than Nation? Or should he just let all his kids grow up without comparison? And why are people always turning a positive moment into negativity when it comes to this family? Drop your thoughts in the comments like this video if you believe people need to let kids be kids. And don't forget to subscribe, because clearly in this CJ and Royalty saga, the drama never stops. Thanks for watching.